All right, good afternoon. My name's Melo, and on this beautiful Thursday at UTD, I have here my friend Sarah, and she invited Rima and Ahmad. And I appreciate, each and every one of you guys being here for taking y'all's time from y'all's own schedule and helping me out on collaborating with this project of mine, which is Introduction to Religion, which I'm focusing on the religion of Islam. And aside from being, schoolwork, I'm also, I'm intrigued and, I want to learn. And that's why we're here. And I have 5 simple questions out of the rubric. And so let's get this started. All right. All right. So the first question is the background and history of the religion. What is the official name of the religion? Where does it come from? And what part of the world do people practice it? And how many adherents does it have worldwide?
Well, the history of this religion started back in the 7th century in the Middle East. And the official name of the religion is Islam. And pretty much the followers were all around the world. It's a worldwide religion. And here in the United States, Europe, anywhere you can think of, in any corner of the world, there should be some sort of community that aren't Muslim.
As far as how many followers, there's 1.6 million worldwide as of 2010. Roughly 23% of them are in the Middle East, and then 62% are in the Asia-Pacific region, such as Indonesia, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Turkey, and Iran.
Also, the way that people converted to Islam or heard about Islam was mostly as far as people of curiosity. They came up and they asked, what religion do you practice? Or by seeing people like our Prophet Muhammad, a lot of people followed his religion from the way he acted, the way he carried himself, and they were always curious. So that's the way most people approached Islam. It was always a choice. It wasn't forced.
It is one of the youngest religions in the world and one of the fastest growing worldwide.
And question number 2, belief system and worldview. What do the adherents of this particular religion believe? And describe their worldview.
Well, the religion itself is based on 5 pillars. And we essentially live our lives based on these pillars, as well as a term called Tawheed. Tawheed roughly translates to oneness in this context. It usually means the oneness of God, which implies that he has no spouse and no heirs. His God is one and one and only. And that Muhammad is his prophet, his final messenger, the seal of all prophets that we believe in. And essentially this religion, the view of it is that we live in this world, to use the word to serve is really, it's kind of taken the wrong way, but to live our life to the best of our abilities, to do good, and at the same time having God in mind, that everything that we do has a consequence, everything that we do has repercussions, whether it's good or bad. There's always something there, and it will be judged at the day of judgment when the time comes. All our good deeds and bad deeds will be brought upon us, and we will be able to really, be judged on what we did in this life and the hereafter.
Oh, really?
And the beauty of the religion, in my opinion, is that growing over the years, it's grown, is that it's very adaptable. It's something that you can adapt in any era, any time period. The religion can be used. You can live and practice this religion without compromising it whatsoever.
The second pillar of Islam would be praying. So usually the typical Muslim would pray 5 times a day. Right before this interview, I did the second prayer. So the first prayer is at dawn. Usually right now it's about 5:30 a.m. The second one, and you have the second one at 1:24 exactly. And it's all about the way the sun moves. So the third one is about 5:05. The fourth one is around 8:05, and the last prayer of the day would be 9:20, about 9:20, depending on which area you're living in. The reason that you pray is that it's basically telling you hey, take a break in your busy life or your problems and all of that, and come talk to me. When you pray, you're talking to God. You're standing in a position. You have to stand in a specific position. It's usually facing towards Mecca, which is our Kaaba. And right now with technology, what's really awesome is that you have an app, and it'll just like direct you. It's like a compass. It directs you to where you should pray, in which direction you should pray. So the beginning of praying is Allahu Akbar. So it's Allah the Almighty. It's like you're calling out for Him. And the way we believe is that when you're praying, it's a one-on-one thing. So whenever we recite a verse from the Quran or a couple of verses in the Quran, it's like you're talking to Him. So if you have any problems or troubles, or even as a thank you, it's like you're giving thanks, or you're spilling out all your worries and problems to Allah. And we believe that He's hearing you out. Also, scientifically, which I thought was very interesting. So the movement of prayer, so we don't just stand and recite. We actually like bend down and knee down and all of that. So the way they say it, scientists studied it, and they said this is like a form of yoga as well. So it just refreshes your mind. You're moving your hands, you're moving your body, you're moving your back, and all of that shows that it's like spiritually and active, and also it like releases all the stress in a way. So it's a really deep spiritual thing.
Another pillar would be charity. Each Muslim must make a charity to help those in need. So they gotta donate a part of their income. Another one would be fasting. We fast during the month of Ramadan from sunset till sundown.
So for Ramadan, it's actually coming up real close. So that's in June. The purpose of Ramadan would be for you to be. It's like a month of thanks, and a month of you relating yourself to the poor. So you give thanks to when you can't eat, and you can't, because what you can in Ramadan, you can't eat, and you can't drink, you can't smoke cigarettes, you can't even cuss. You can't. You have to be the best person you can be. And imagine being hungry and trying to be the best person you can be. Imagine being in traffic, hungry and thirsty at like 102 degrees of Texas. And you have to just remind yourself that, hey, this is for a better cause. And that's where the faith comes in. Because it's a very consuming, energy consuming feeling for you to be hungry from, like I said, it was about 5, dawn was about 5, and then you fast all the way until our 4th prayer, which is about 8. Ramadan is going to be around 8:30. The time keeps moving. So imagine, it's just a spiritual feeling. Also during Ramadan, you're not only deprived from eating, but also you're very encouraged to give like charity, which was our 3rd pillar. So you, not just money, it's not just income, it's your time too. It's your time to Allah when you read the Quran. A lot of people in Ramadan find it the easiest to read Quran. When you're really actively busy, you're not really thinking about, hey, I need to set some time and read Quran. But when in Ramadan, everybody's constantly reminding you, hey, you need to read Quran, you need to read Quran. It's just a reminder. And for some reason in our head, it's like, oh, this month, I just really need to read it because it's just part of the process. But in all actuality, it holds a lot of meaning to it. Also, it helps you during when you get hungry and thirsty, when you read the Quran and you hear the beautiful words or listen to the beautiful meaning. It's like, hey, this is the ultimate reason why I'm doing this. This is the ultimate reason why I'm really hungry, I'm really thirsty. I really want to just like scream at Him, but I'm holding it back because it's the Almighty. It's for Him.
And the beauty of it is the fact that this month, you know, they say it takes 3 weeks to make a habit or break a habit. This month, the beauty of it is everybody in the world, all the Muslims around the world practice it. It's not, you know, you sit there and you know that everywhere that all the Muslims, any Muslim you think about that's out there is doing the same thing as you, and it's kind of like as an encouragement. And throughout the month, essentially, this is going to be your backbone. So if for whatever reason you felt like before the month of Ramadan you weren't the best of who you could have been, you didn't do what you thought was right, or you didn't do things in the best of your ability in the aspect of religion, this month will really push you and make you stronger in that sense, faithfully, and then helps you carry that on even after the month ends. Therefore, you've built that habit of praying 5 times a day, to keep up with all your prayers, to read the Quran regularly, to be more spiritual, be more religious, and be more faithful. And at that point, it moves forward to the later on months throughout the rest of the year. Come the next year around, at this point, you're not really starting over, you're strengthening your base. So you started this Ramadan, you did certain things, you set a goal for yourself, and you completed it. You move forward throughout the year, comes back around, the next Ramadan comes around, you're like, all right, well, last year I started at this point, look at where I am now, let's push for more. And it kind of like a self goal. You keep setting yourself a goal every Ramadan. That essentially, people say, well, New Year's resolution. For us, in many cases, Ramadan. You do Ramadan, you do so good. You're like, I'm gonna continue until the next Ramadan comes around. And some people fall off. The New Year's resolution. Not everybody's perfect. So some people, they set these goals after this month. They say, hey, I'm gonna do this and do that and pray more and read more and all these kind of things, and it doesn't happen. And then they're like, oh, well, they kind of redo the resolution again once that month comes around, because everybody's in the spirit of that. Everybody that you know, everybody that you can think of, generally speaking, in your community, in your home, and your friends, everybody's in that same state of mind, and it's encouraging when everybody else does it.
Smile.
And that's pretty much what the significance of that is for us as well, when it comes to the views worldwide.
Also,
Oh, no, you're good. Good.
I was just going to add in also during Ramadan is that you're not only getting closer to God, but you're actually getting closer to family. Because at the end, every night when you break your fast, you're breaking your fast not alone. You're breaking it with a bunch of people. Like it's usually a big family gathering, and you have a really nice feast going on almost every night of the month, and dessert and laughter and stories, and it's just a big happy bundle of people. And especially when you share it with food, everybody shares food together, it's just a really good experience. A lot of people also break their fast in mosques or with the poor or the needy, and it's just a very spiritual feeling.
And then last but not least, the last pilgrim is a pilgrimage to Mecca, the holy site Mecca. If financially available, possible, each Muslim must make a pilgrimage to Mecca once in their lifetime at least. And then you ask what makes our religion unique. In my point of view, I think in our holy book it says any human being is going to be judged by their intentions. So if anything you do in the intention of pleasing Allah, then you're being judged by your intentions and not your actual actions. So I think that makes our religion unique.
Also, because we know it's all about intentions, so it just reminds you that whenever I pick a piece of garbage off the floor, do I really mean to do it to keep society clean, to keep my environment clean, or do I really I'm trying to impress the person right next to me? So when we know that you're being judged by intentions, it makes your conscience always activated. Like you keep thinking about what you're doing. So if my intention is to say, hey, you're not wearing your outfit is just not flattering to you. Is my intention to hurt her, or is my intention to actually advise her? Okay, and that's where Islam comes in. It keeps you thinking, and that's what our religion wants you to do, is think before you act. And while you're acting, think. And what's cool about it is that even initially, if your intention may be harm, in our religion, repentance is always encouraged. Because if I intended to hurt her, but later on I go home and I decide, man, I really feel bad. Like I didn't want to really do that, and I just thought to myself, and I repented, and I went and apologized to her. Allah says it's as if He closed His eyes and He didn't see that. He didn't see you actually hurting her, and that's where intention comes in. And the way it works is that in our religion is that we believe that nobody's perfect. And we believe God understands that we were not created perfect. So that's why it's always that He always leaves room for you to fix your mistakes or fix your intentions.
It keeps you pure-hearted. It keeps you pure-minded. You know, what you do is for the betterment of yourself and people around you in the community, and for the religion. And that's exactly what this Islam is all about. It's just try to have the purest mind, the purest heart, and do things to the best of your ability to help people, to help yourself, help society, anything that you do. And that's how we live our lives, you know, and we do the best that we can. Like she mentioned, we're not perfect. So, and everybody has that room for error, you know, and with error comes, you know, you learn from your mistakes and you move forward. And by moving forward, you know, you teach yourself and you can teach others, and that's what we do. That's what our religion is really based on. It's just doing the best that you can for yourself and for others and for the goodness, you know.
Which brings us back to that first point we made, that how people converted to Islam was more of seeing people's actions and wondering what prompted you to do all this good stuff, or what prompted you to have good morals, or what prompted you. And then when you say it's for the sake of Allah, people just are like, oh my goodness, tell me your ways so I can actually feel that way. Because when you feel that you are like you're full of joy, and that's what Islam gives you. It's feel of joy, no guilt, and you're just living day by day for the sake of Allah. There's no better feeling than that. What was the next question? I think we finished on that first that question.